Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. Now, one of the things that I always hear these brothers say, and a few sisters have shared this sentiment, is that they support Trump because of the economy. And I always find it odd that they don't say the Republicans, they say Trump. You know what I'm saying? Trump specifically. Now, I can get why you don't want to vote for the Democrats. Don't get me wrong. I fully understand that, because I truly believe right now that if I was a voting man, I would vote down Republican Party line straight. A straight ticket party line vote. I wouldn't vote for a single Democrat. But I have my personal reasons why I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Not that I trust the Republicans, not that I think they're good people, but I've seen a side of the Democrats dealing with this whole COVID thing that I just don't like. You talk about authoritarianism, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a totalitarianism. This is scary what they did during COVID, the lockdowns, the forced vaccines, you know what I'm saying? It's scary. You know, I don't want anybody like that in power, because they have shown their hand. And if you go vote for them people after that display, something is wrong with you too. But to sit there and make it all about Trump is weird to me. And I'm going to show you why. One of the things they say is, well, Trump and the economy. So, okay, let's look at the national debt, right? We're going to start the national debt from circa around late 1920s, right? Okay, around that time, the national debt may have been about 22 billion. That's what it was, right? 22 billion, which is way too much considering how poor people were back then, right? Roosevelt basically got everybody out the Great Depression by spending government money, right? That's what he did. He created like infrastructure programs to fix the bridges and highways, and this put people to work. He built projects and it wasn't for black people. So all y'all crazy people talking about the projects is the problem with black people. Well, guess what? The projects wasn't even built for black people. So he built projects to help with the homeless, right? Infrastructure and all kinds of schooling programs and trade schooling programs, you know what I'm saying? Just to put people back to work, get people off the streets. And that was a good thing. But the national debt blew up to 259 billion under Roosevelt. Okay, between Roosevelt and the rest of the presidents up to Carter, it reached 1 trillion, right? That's when it reached 1 trillion. So when y'all hear him say it all the time, like, this president is going to surpass 1 trillion for the first time and all, that's a lie. They're talking about deficits. And a deficit is a very misleading way to gauge anything. I'm going to give you a good example of the deficit, right? Take a business. Say you have a business, right? Say you borrow $10 million to start a business, right? And that first year, you bring in $1 million, right? Okay, well, you still got $9 million left, right? But let's say that going into the second year, you borrow $2 million to help with the second year, right? But let's say the second year, you bring in $5 million. So you got 2 on top of the 9 that was left over, which makes it 11. And then you bring in 5, right? Which brings it down to 6. So now you got $6 million in debt that's still sitting there, right? Now, that year, you actually brought in more money than you borrowed to start the year. So that would be a surplus. That's all a deficit and surplus is. But the problem with that is that it still don't change the fact that you are still $6 million in debt. That is the debt. And that's what you got to focus on, the national debt, not the individual surpluses and deficits of the administrations, because that's misleading. And I'm bringing you down this road because I need you to understand that the national debt has been increasing steadily regardless of who's been in office. That's my point. That's my point. It's been increasing steadily. So when Ronald Reagan takes office, the national debt is at $1 trillion. Reagan increases it $2 trillion in 8 years. Then Bush 1 comes in. He increases the national debt by $1.4 trillion in 4 years. He only had one term. Then Tricky Slicky Bill Clinton come into office, right? He increases it by roughly $2 trillion in 8 years. Then you get Bush 2. He increases it roughly $6 trillion in 8 years. Now we get to the big increase, Obama. Obama increases the national debt by $8 trillion in 8 years. But to be fair to Obama, a lot of that 8 million was based on the back of Bush. Just to be fair to him, not defending him, don't get mad at me, but just to be fair, he walked into a storm that was left by Bush. So under Obama, 8 trillion in 8 years. But then you get Trump, $8.4 trillion in 4 years.
What?
And Biden right now is sitting at 5 trillion in 4 years. So the single highest increase to the national debt has taken place under Donald Trump. Now, that's just the fact. So all Mike Tyson, that famous clip of Mike Tyson, hire the businessman, let him run it like a business. He's a businessman. Let him run it like a business. Well, he's a horrible businessman, and I'm approving. Let's get to his business. The Trump University, y'all remember that? The Trump University was ruled to be an educational scandal, right? It was a scam, nothing more, nothing less. Deceptive practices. Donald Trump has agreed to pay a $25 million settlement to the people who attended Trump University in 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010. It shut down in 2010. Remember that, right? Now, these seminars begin with a free session to get people in the door. I know because I've been to one of them. And once you're in the door, then the salespeople will come at you and try to upsell you to the elite packages that range from $10,000 to $35,000. It was just like going to one of the multi-level marketing things. You know they invite you out, talking about just a couple of friends gonna get around and talk and whatever, and you get there and they got chairs and rows lined up, and they got some dude that come up here and talk about all the material things that he have. Like that's gonna be impressive, you know what I'm saying? It's really insulting to the intelligence, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, the Trump University got sued and got shut down. Trump Institute was another one. It offered a whole bunch of get-rich-quick schemes, but it plagiarized literally all the information. The point is, the man just knows how to capitalize on his opportunities, his positioning, his name. That's all he's done. You know what I'm saying? It's not that he's a good businessman. Let me explain something to y'all, brothers. Knowing how to manipulate things and circumvent things is not the same as being a good business person. Shrewd and intelligence is not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? This is why he's in so much trouble right now, because he's so used to doing things in a civil arena, in the corporate arena, where he can't get in trouble, that he done brought that mentality over to this part, and now he's in criminal cases trying to do the same type of corporate maneuvers, and it's not working. The man gonna find himself in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna find himself in a lot of trouble. His only hope is to hope he get elected by people like y'all who I'm talking to right now, you pro-black brothers and sisters, that for some reason y'all seem like y'all believe that Trump is a perfect representation of what your ideals as a black person is. I don't get that. But anyway, I said I'm gonna stop being confrontational this year. I'm gonna turn over a new leaf this year. I'm not gonna attack you for what you do, because I really don't care. I don't really care about how people vote. I don't care why they voted. My thing is, maybe I can educate somebody on a video like this, somebody who just don't know. Maybe they'll see this and maybe they'll know now. And I'll pose this question again. If I had the exact same temperaments as a Donald Trump, would y'all support me? Unfortunately, I think the answer is yes. That's the sad thing. I honestly, now that I think about it in hindsight, I think that that's why y'all don't like me, because I'm not childish, because I'm not temperamental, because I'm not idealistic. I'm not an ideologue. I don't stay idealistically tied to a position, you know what I'm saying? I'm not on here bashing my sisters all day, every day, as if I don't know that the same elements that messed them up messed us up. As if I don't know that, you know, and I think this is part of the reason why my channel has struggled, you know what I'm saying, over the first year. Last year, my first full year as a content creator. And I'm telling you, it's been interesting, but I think this is why I struggle. I think if I was more idealistic, then one of the groups that I'm catering to would have latched on to me and supported me and I'd have rode a wave all the way to the top. But I guess I'm just not going to the top because I'm not that kind of person. I am Brother Kush, the Black Alpha. And real men do real things. And being an ideologue is not real. It is not alpha. It is fake. It is weak. So I'm going to stay solid. I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to stay alpha. Until next time, I'm out of here. I'm Brother Kush, a.k.a. the Black Alpha. Salam.